Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy and I help people with their breakups. Today I'm going to read three letters because I'm a little backed up as far as letters go. And the first thing I want to say is I've been getting some feedback from some people that they think sometimes I'm a little bit harsh. And I just want to say I'm being honest. And I'm being harsh purposely so you get the point. Because the reason why you send me your story, you tell me what's going on with your relationship, is not for me to cut you down or put you down. It's to get a reality check. To have someone that's not your relative, not your family member, your best friend, give you some bullshit, biased, friendly opinion that's not real talk. Because behind your back, they are being harsh, probably. Not all of them, but a good majority of them. Human beings like to gossip. And, some of these stories that you're talking about, they're not telling you the truth because they don't want to hurt your feelings or they have hidden agendas. So when you send it to me, I'm just telling you the straight up truth as it comes. And I've said this before, you got to laugh at some of this. You got to look at it from a perspective of you're a stranger in this letter. I don't know you at all. Doesn't mean I don't care for you. I don't care about your situation. I understand a breakup's tough, but I'm giving you straight up feedback that delivers honesty, that delivers information. This is not I'm really sorry to hear about that. Oh my God, no, this is giving you advice, okay? Because right now, a lot of people out there get bad advice or none at all. They just get pity. And pity is not going to help you, right? It's not going to help you move on, and that's where you want to be headed. So your first step is to write this story, get it to me, and don't take it personal what I say. Take out bits and pieces, and if you don't agree with me, that's okay. You don't have to agree with me on everything. Sometimes you get some information or some advice, and it takes a while to sink in. Like 6 months, a year down the road, you go, "Fuck, Mac was right." I mean, what he said, I've had it happen to myself before, right? So let's get into the first letter. Hello, how are you? Outstanding. Thanks for asking. Thanks for all your stories. It's a real hoot. Haven't heard that word in a long time. I've got a story to tell. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. She's very special to me and I love her a lot. Well, isn't that nice? But I feel like I love her so much, more than she does me. I would do anything for her, and she can't even give me a ride to the airport on a Saturday when she's not doing anything. That's needy behavior on your end. She said, "Get a cab, it's not expensive," and she was hungover. Well, she had a reason. If she was hungover, she had a reason to not drive you to the airport. I'm not saying that um, it wasn't out of line. Maybe you want your girlfriend or your wife to, this is your girlfriend, to give you a ride. But on the flip side, if you didn't say, "Hey, I'd like to spend the last 45 minutes of the ride or whatever it takes to get to the airport. I want to see you before I leave." If you didn't express that and you just bitched about it in this letter after and you just took it, then you shouldn't have wrote it down. You should have said something to her. But when you tell me she was hungover, then she had a direct reason. I'd do that for her in a minute order her an Uber and pay for it. Well, I mean, is she gonna pay for your taxi or your Uber? Probably not. As a woman, it's possible, but probably not. And would you do it even if you had a hangover? Maybe you're different. But I'd actually want to see her off before she left for a long trip. Then tell her that. "Oh, I just wanted to see you off before a long trip. But that's okay, honey. I hope you feel better." That's the way I would put that. Yeah, you're being a little bit needy. "I was going to Brazil on business for 3 weeks and she couldn't believe." Brazil, good for you, man. Nice one. I haven't been, I've always wanted to go. "I was going to Brazil on business for 3 weeks. She couldn't believe that I was so upset that she wouldn't give me a ride." Yet you shouldn't be so upset if she had a hangover. "She even joked that she didn't want me coming back smelling like Brazilian women. Then she winked. She winked and said, 'Have fun when nobody is watching.'" Well, isn't that a cute little line? What do I make of that? Well, she's saying have fun when nobody's watching. Probably that would insinuate maybe mess around, maybe meet some other women. "She also recently brought up us having an open relationship where we could see another partner sexually once a month." Dun dun. Now the truth comes out. Well, I mean, a lot of guys would like this kind of relationship. I don't know how well it would work. You have to be both on the same page. You have to agree to it. You have to feel like, oh, I'm up for that. Cool. If you're not up for it, then you got to end the relationship because she's looking at it like she's gonna do it anyways. Probably the way it sounds. My buddy said he'd dream of an arrangement like that. It makes me feel sick to my stomach to think my girl would be having sex with another guy. Well, I mean, if you picture it, sure. If you didn't know about it, would it be better? She said, if you want to be with another girl, just don't bring her in my bed or drive her around in my car. What's your take on all this? Well, here's my take. You either accept it or you don't accept it because she's moving in this direction whether you like it or not. She's saying that she wants to have another partner sexually once a month or more probably. And she's opening up and telling you the truth. I think if you said no to it, you might break up, but at the same time, you're saying it's not acceptable. You got to draw your boundaries, man. So I would say if you absolutely don't want that, it's not in your value system, then say no. If she has a negative response to that, then you might have to take the door. You might have to move on because you tell yourself, am I capable of finding a woman that's completely monogamous? Absolutely. That values having one partner long term? Absolutely. That's how you have to look at that. There's a lot of fish in the sea, man. So her bringing that up to you, the positive side, she's being honest. She's giving you the opportunity to be on the same page as her. Whether you want that opportunity is up to you in the end. All right, let's go to the next letter here. Dear Coach, I've been broken up with my ex-girlfriend now for a year. It's been a bumpy road. We were together for over 4 years and broke up because I didn't want to get married and have kids. Well, there's a lot of people out there like that. We are both in our late 20s and she wanted to start a family, and I've seen it how it's ruined good friends' lives. Don't compare yourself to friends. If you don't want kids because your friend had a bad situation, that's not a good reason. Call me selfish, but the idea of a diminished sex life, snotty-nosed kids yelling at me to buy them this and that doesn't really appeal to me at 28 years old. I hear you. If that's the way you look at it, if that's the way you're envisioning it, imagining it, don't do it. Because your kids will have a snotty nose sometimes, and most sex lives in a relationship will diminish after kids. I'm not ready, and I'm not sure I ever will be. And in the year we've been broken up, okay, so you've been broken up for a year. In the year we've been broken up, we've stayed in contact and actually have stayed close. We still have sex about 2 or 3 times a month, and we don't ask personal questions regarding our dating life. Well, that seems like that works out really nice. It's been great. But this last month, she has cut off contact with me and has now got serious with a guy I know. See, that's the danger of when you break up and you keep seeing each other. One of you is leaving the door open to hook up with someone else, and someone's going to get left with the bag in their hand ready to cry. I don't know what that meant, bag in your hand ready to cry, but you know what I mean. You just get left as the one, whoa, we're not going to see each other 2 or 3 times a month anymore? What? No, she was just waiting till she found someone better, and you were too in some ways, maybe. The part about it, though, that sucks is he said you know the guy. Actually, he was a good friend of mine. Fuck, that sucks. I'm pissed that a buddy would do this. Well, if you were broken up for 1 year, I wouldn't do it to a buddy. I wouldn't like it done to me, but she is open game if you were away from her for 1 year. And there's certain friends, like I've had friends before, if you bring a girl around them and you're not claiming her as your girlfriend, it's just some girl you're dating, they will pursue or try to go after her thinking she's single. There's just guys like that, right? I mean, we aren't together, but it isn't an unwritten bro code not to bang your buddy's ex-girlfriend. I mean, it's unwritten in your value code, but I mean, the other guy might have had it happen to him before. I know plenty of guys it's not. They look at it like, you weren't into her anymore, you know? I've always liked her. I'm going to treat her well. So, and if he's a good guy and you were apart a year, they don't know what happened in your relationship either. If you were apart a year, she could be telling him, you know, that you haven't been seeing each other and that you've been, you know, you don't know the real deal. But if you were broken up He does have a right. Now you have a right to say fuck you as a friend, and not, you don't hold them on the same level. Don't dwell on it though. Like, oh, all guys that are friends are supposed to be this way. That's not true. He said it's been a year, man. It's not like we got started right after you broke up. He's right. I'm with you. I don't agree that it's cool that your buddy fucks your girl. It's not on my list of values, but he's got a point. Fuck that. It's not cool. My mom says I still have feelings for her, and you're blaming your friend. That's true. You do have feelings for her, and you're blaming your friend. I talked to the ex 2 weeks ago, and she said, stop calling. It's not personal. She just wants to move on and knows that I still want a physical relationship. She's right. I had it all this last year, and now it feels really over. And all I think about is getting her back. Well, you were apart for a year, but you weren't really apart for a year because you were having your cake and eat it too. You weren't together. If you wanted to get to that level where you got back together, then you should have made the move. You should have at some point said, I want to commit again. But if you were just sitting around going, oh, this is nice, sex two or three, we don't live together, we get along fine. The door was being left open. Absolutely. And to rewind, even if you would have went to her, this could have still happened. So don't start blaming yourself. I'd even marry her at this point, and kids, well, maybe. No. Don't go back. This is really bad for your psyche. I'd even marry her at this point, and kids, well, maybe. Let's go back to, we were together for over 4 years and broke up because I didn't want to get married and have kids. Call me selfish, but the idea of a diminished sex life, snotty-nosed kids yelling at me to buy them this and that doesn't really appeal to me at 28. That don't go back on that. Whether I agree with that or your friends agree with that, that's how you feel. Don't fucking go back on that. Don't do it. You don't switch on a topic like this. So don't. That's being weak-minded, and it wouldn't be fair when you had those kids if you had that attitude. What's your take on all this mess? How do I get her back? Okay, my take is if she's with another guy already, then you need to start moving on. The first step is no contact. Okay? The next step you did by sending me your story and getting my take. And the story, when you write it out, it's not just for me to give you advice. It's for you to read again, to look at where you're at. You're like, oh, shit. I'm thinking about marrying her at this point and having kids. And then you look back at the beginning of the story and you're like, well, that's not how I really feel. Right? I'm just doing that as a way to get her back. That's the wrong approach. So the fact that she's asked you to stop contacting her, you need to stop contacting her. It's not going to get her back at all. You need to move on with your life. You need to do the basic things, the top 25 things, which I have in another video to do when you enter a breakup. And number 1, like I've said before, no contact. Number 2, get your quiet time. Number 3, start journaling. Number 4, go for walks. Get the fuck out of the house. If you're having trouble with this, get out of the house. You don't need to go date right away. You just need to get out of the house and, start something new and check out my top 25 ways to get through it. But otherwise, it's pretty cut and dry, man, if you didn't want to have kids in 4 years. And that's okay. Don't have kids if you don't want them, because, that's deeper than having a bad relationship. That's being a bad parent. All right, let's move on from this. Let's go do one more here. Hello, I've been married now for over 7 years, and honestly, I've gained about 25 pounds since we got married. Truth be told, I was already thick, but my husband liked the curves, he said. Well, thick women are attractive. I like a thick woman. Some guys, it's not their thing. Now 25 pounds later, okay, he's told me I need to consider a diet, and not just for my look, but my health. Well, there you go. That's being upfront. Here's the thing. When I first got with him, he could be described as being about 30 pounds overweight, and I never said anything. Well, that's up to you. You accepted that from the get-go. Now, this last year, he's really slimmed down due to a new vegetarian diet. His mother got him on, and he does look better, but with it has come this cocky attitude. He's always walking around with the shirt off for the whole neighborhood to see. Well, he's probably proud of himself. Whenever someone changes their body, they want to show it off. He never did this before. Of course not, because he was 30 pounds overweight. Anyhow, we had big fights 2 days. We had a big fight 2 days ago, and he said, I need to shed some weight or he's leaving me. That's an ultimatum. That's deep. You have to take that seriously, and you can take it personal also, but at the same time, he's being honest. I was shocked and left the house crying. I don't like to be demanded to do something as a grown woman. No one likes to be demanded to do something, sweetheart. No one. No one. No one. It's a bad way to put things, but he seems to be fed up. Usually an ultimatum comes when you're fed up. You've had enough. You want an answer. I don't like to be demanded to do something. I don't want to break up, but he doesn't seem to be making an effort after I left. Well, he wants you to lose weight, and he wants you to commit to losing weight, and he wants you to agree to commit to losing weight. That's what he's asking for you, cut and dry. Whether you want to do that or not is up to you. I'm not telling you you're overweight. I've never seen you before. I don't know. And like you said, like I said before, men like thick women. Men like heavyset women. If you want to keep your weight on, you don't want to diet, then move on. Because there are men out there that like that. No calls and hasn't... So, excuse me. I don't want to break up, but he doesn't seem to be making an effort after I left. No calls, and he doesn't return my 10 or so texts. Okay, so you're being extremely needy. He knows you're there whenever he needs to call you. We are married for Christ's sakes. I can't lose the weight in a week. Yeah, you can't lose the weight in a week. Absolutely, absolutely true. But you can call him up and have a chat with him, or send a text and ask him to meet up and choose what you want to do. Are you going to commit to a diet and agree to that? Or if he's just at a point where he's not even accepting that at this point, then there might be something else he's hiding besides the weight. But I would say if you agree and you say, yeah, I want to lose the weight for me, I'm going to enter, a diet program with Jenny Craig, or start doing yoga, but have a plan that's structured, make a commitment, and show them that you want to make the commitment, show them that you care about that, show them that you care about losing the weight. And he said for health too, and that's a good reason. So the fact that why don't you hold off on texting him so much? Give him a little bit of time to think about what happened to you. If that takes 5 days or a week, I'm betting if you were married for 7 years, he will contact you if you stop hitting him up with 10 texts or, whatever it is over the last 5 or 6 days. Give it a break, give it a rest. Do your diet research if that's something you're interested in. Because probably if you do break up anyhow, you're going to have an issue with your weight anyways in your health, so you should be looking into a new health plan or diet plan anyhow. And you will have, now that he said that, you will feel inferior in some way because he said that. All that being said, and I like to give options, I like to tell you two sides of the coin. You can keep your weight on and move on. Does that make sense to you? I mean, you can still meet another man that's attracted to heavier set women, okay? Now, hope that helps all of you. And if you're out there listening to these stories, these are people that have sent me their stories about their breakups, about what has gone on. Give them good, sound, honest advice for free if they want it. You can visit my website, rightmac.com. That's rightmac.com. And it talks a little bit about the work I do. But it's a really simple concept, and I think it's a really good first step for anyone going through a breakup. It's a really good... And after the fact, if you like what I do, you've listened to some of my letters and some of my videos, and you want to have a one-on-one live coaching session, I also do those. Those are available on my website also. And if you have an emergency email that's a little bit longer and you want me to get back to you in 48 hours, I do charge a small fee for that. But some people want to get back to you right away. Otherwise, for free, I'll get back to you within a week. So... And I get a lot of letters, folks, a lot of letters. That's why I'm doing 3 at a time right now. Okay? So, see ya!